Oh my God, isn't that marvelous? The bees feeding off the noni tree. That is awesome. Check that out. Can you see that? Can you see that? The bees are just feeding off the noni tree. It seems as though everybody feeds off this noni tree. Bees, organic flies, everybody's like feeding off this noni tree. What does that have to say about the noni tree? It must be like really good. Everything from the leaf to the seeds must be good. Anyway, we have a special treat today. Mom's going to be answering a few of your guys' questions from some of the comments you guys had on the past couple of videos. And, you know, some wisdom from Mom. That should be a good thing, right? That should be interesting. So let's see what Mom got in store over here. See what's happening. Hey, Mom.
Hello, hello.
How you doing? So I guess today we're going to answer some of these fabulous supporters, some of the people who follow you on YouTube and Facebook, some of their questions.
Yeah, and I'm always happy to answer questions, of course. I'm always happy to answer questions, but I can't answer all of them at one time. I mean, you know, I get so many.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to some of them. And as time goes on, we'll answer more. In the meantime, in between time, first question is from Zoo. I am starting my journey into a more healthier life and want to know, along with your diet, what kind of exercise, if any, do you do? Also, will you come out with a recipe book anytime soon? Thanks, love, and life, Zoo.
Well, Zoo, many people want to know what kind of exercise I do. The thing of it is that exercise means not only exercising your body, but exercising your mind as well. I'm sure when most people ask that question, they mean exercise as physical exercise, but of course I'm into the mental aspect of it as well, because I feel that if you do not use it, you lose it. So that applies to the mind as well as the body. And I do things like mentally, as far as playing games, certain games, and trying to do it very, very quickly in order to you know, show that I'm very agile and I can do things very quickly. Because, for example, when I play solitaire, if I don't get 10,000 points, then that's not winning to me. So I do things like that, and I do chess for strategic reasons, and all of that really helps to exercise your mind. I believe that my mind is as sharp now, or sharper, than when I was younger. Now, getting into the aspect of the physical, my exercise includes dancing. I like to dance. I go up and down my spiral staircase every day until I've achieved 50 to 100 floors. When I go down once and walk back up, that's a floor. So I achieve 50 to 100 floors a day. Okay, I dance, as I said. I garden. I clean my house. I have a big house, so I clean my house myself. I just do all kinds of things. And when I go out, I park my car as far away as I can from where I'm going, so that I can get my steps in. Now I get in about, you know, the average they suggest about 10,000 steps. I get in almost double that, really. I get in at least 18,000 steps instead of the 10,000.
Yeah, most people, even young people, die of exhaustion with that much stepping, but we're not going there.
My granddaughter said to me one time, Nana, even I don't do that. And she's like, what, 27, something like that. So yeah, but it's good. I mean, you know, I feel great, and it just helps so much. Cardiovascular, and I think it helps more than that, because it keeps me agile, keeps me just feeling good. So I get in at least 8 miles a day. Most of the time I get in more than that, but that's my average of trying to get that. So I am doing, that's the exercise that I do. And I go in my gym, I walk on the treadmill, and just you know, general whatever, just making sure that I move that body. And that's what I do, Zoo. What do you do? Do something that you like. Find something that you really, really like. Now, as far as your question about, I think she asked about recipe book.
Mm-hmm. But I have a question. I'll ask you one more thing before we get to that. What, as far as mental exercise, in your opinion, what is your opinion, if you have any, about, like, for example, positive thinking opposed to negative thinking? I think they call it affirmations. What do they call them?
Affirmations.
Affirmations. As far as those things, in your opinion, is that helpful? Can it help you? Can they help your body, the cells and everything work a lot better? Thinking positively and thinking like really nice things and
Yeah,
good
well,
things, opposed to negative things.
It's really more to being healthy than just about what you eat and what you drink. Okay, and I'm glad you asked that, because that I wanted to remind Zoo that there is definitely more. And I mean, besides what we eat and what we drink, it's very important that we, of course, get enough exercise, as I said, both mentally and physically. We should get enough. And in addition to that, we have to get enough rest, and rest depends on, or it's determined by the individual and what your lifestyle is and that kind of thing. I don't need as much as I used to need, and it's not because I'm older, but because I believe I'm healthier. Now, you gotta have a positive attitude. You gotta have, that's my way of looking at it. I think that when we do have positive affirmations, when we think in a positive manner, I think that's all a part of being healthy. So yes, think positively. Keep in mind that there's a saying that as a man, and I add, or a woman, as a man or a woman thinketh, so be they. I'm truly in tune with that. I think that, and I try to walk on the road with positiveness and goodness and all of that stuff, and I find that it befalls me. So yeah, it's very important what we think.
Good, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Okay, now let's get to that book thing. Zoo wants to know if you're going to be coming out with a recipe book anytime soon.
Zoo, it's already here. You just have to go to my website, AnnetteLarkins.com, and there are two different places that you could find the material that I offer. You can either go to products, but I always send people to the orders page on that navigation bar, that menu bar, that red menu bar, because when you go there, you can see everything at a glance just by scrolling down. Scrolling down, you'll see everything that I offer right there. So the booklets offer recipes. The DVD, Annette's Raw Kitchen, shows you how to prepare delicious, mouth-watering, non-cooked foods. And the booklets complement the DVD, because at the end of each booklet, it shows where the recipes are located. Well, at the end of the DVD, I should say, it shows where the recipe is located in either booklet. So it's already here, Zoo. Just go to my website, AnnetteLarkins.com.
Very good question, Zoo. Next question, Julia. How do you process the rainwater to drink it?
Well, Julia, I'm sorry. I chuckle because this question has followed me since 2012. A very competent, wonderful reporter named Tanya Rogers did a story on me in 2012, and that's when everything just went, wow. I call it the video that was seen around the world. Everybody's heard of the shot that was heard around the world. I call this one the video that was seen around the world. She made the mistake, and we all make mistakes, and she made the mistake when I showed her the barrels of water, of thinking that I drank the water, or rather I drink the rainwater. I don't drink it. It's for my plants. Now, the interesting thing about that is I don't have a problem with drinking rainwater, but I have a water distiller, and that's where I get my water. That's my water of choice. Now, when I have a TDS meter. That's a total dissolved solids meter that measures the water that we drink from the faucet. Our faucet, it measures like 200 to 300. That means that these chemicals and all that stuff that's in it, that's a lot. Rainwater, when I measure that rainwater that goes in those barrels, it only measures 5, no more than 10 usually. So frankly, I'd rather drink that water than drink the faucet water.
You're right.
And people talk about acid rain. Well, give me that acid rain if that's what's happening. I don't know. Now, I was on a show once, a radio show, and the gentleman, he lives in Texas, who interviewed me, and he had so many. I don't even want to mention how many he had, because it was a while back, and I don't recall actually how many barrels he had. But he uses some kind of system whereby he uses ceramics or something to filter his rainwater, because that's what they drink on he has a farm or something like that. But I don't drink the rainwater, but I'm telling you now, it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be a problem. And you know what's funny about that is that there was this lady who wrote to me telling me that she had, when she heard that I drink the rainwater, she had vessels all over her patio trying to catch rainwater, and she says they went everywhere but in the vessels. So when she found out, I had to email her and tell her, no, please, I don't drink the rainwater. But hey, that's it. I would drink it.
Okay, next question. And her question is, where do you get your protein?
Okay, proteins. Where do I get my protein? That's the question. Since I became a vegetarian 52 years ago, people still continue to ask. That was one of the main questions that people used to ask. Where do you get your protein? Well, I can tell you that I get it from fruits that have protein. Not as much as nuts, where I get my proteins. Legumes. I of course sprout my legumes. When I say legumes, I mean things like beans. What kind of beans? Lentil beans, beans like that. And seeds. Of course, I sprout my seeds, so of course the proteins are in the sprouts, and they're in the regular. If I just eat them without. Well, of course, I'm going to sprout them. I wouldn't eat them just dry. Mm-hmm. But you get, there's even green leafy vegetables have protein. So many people think that protein is necessary. Of course, it's just like any of the rest of the vitamins and minerals that we have. They are necessary. But I think that most of us eat more than we need. We fill our bodies with proteins, and you think about a cow. A cow doesn't eat meat, yet it gets its protein. So it doesn't. You don't have to give anything extra, and that's just something that's like with. I think somebody had a question about B12, and it's the same kind of a situation with the B12. We get protein. We get B12 from from nuts and seeds and green leafy vegetables and all of that. So we don't really have to have all of these things that people think that we have to have.
So the myth of, and this is my words, okay, the myth of just getting protein from meat is really busted.
And it is a myth. That's a very good word to use. It's a myth. And yes, the myth is busted, because we don't have to have all of that protein that we've been led to believe that we have, and we do not have to get it from animals. We can get it from our vegetable sources.
Okay.
Was that the end of that question?
That was the end of that question. Here's the next one. Thanks a lot, Ann, by the way, for that question. And this next question is from a person by the name of Twin Kitten 1. See, my eyes aren't as good as my mom's. I thought it was Twin Kitten 2. Or maybe it was wishful thinking. But nevertheless, it's Twin Kitten 1. So we got it right, Twin Kitten 1. And here's your question. Is there any cheaper way that a person can become a vegetarian? Because so many, I'm sure, would love to be a vegetarian, vegan, and eat healthier, but it's just that in some places, to get some of these ingredients are very expensive, and unhealthier foods are usually cheaper.
Well, Twin Kitten 1, years ago, I took some food out to the University of Miami. I went to a particular department, and I took the food there. And everybody in that department, they just loved the food. And this one woman said to me, it included nuts. And she says, "Oh, this is great, it's wonderful, but aren't nuts expensive?" Well, are they any more expensive than meat? I don't think so. And as far as the expense of it, it's really dependent upon what you're doing and where you're getting your food from. And I know that she said that in some areas it can't be found, and I don't know where she is. But one of the things that you can do to defray costs is by sprouting. You'll get things that you need that way. You'll get all the vitamins and minerals and proteins and all of that stuff that you need by sprouting. And you can get everything, because sprouts can, I've said this numerous amounts of times, sprouts include everything that the body needs. Say vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, water, and there's carbohydrates. So everything, you get everything there. And you can sprout for pennies a day. That's one way to defray cost if you can't find everything. And I don't know what particular ingredients that you're looking for that you are missing out on. But, you know, it depends. It just depends. And you can really, really investigate and find ways. Let's not make excuses now. We can find ways to eat less expensive, because in the regular world that people are into, as my son and so many people call it, the SAD, the sad American diet.
Standard American diet.
Standard, yeah, it is sad. It's standard American diet.
Right.
I mean, in that realm, you can either eat expensively or inexpensively. So that's something to consider. And you know, you just have to search about and find ways. If you investigate, if you're really serious and you want to do it, you'll find ways to make it easier. Believe me, it can be done.
And Mom, if I may make a point also, I firmly believe, and I think it's also becoming more of on the mainstream now, even the FDA agrees, you know, listen, it's going to cost you, you're going to make a whole lot less trips if you begin to eat healthy. Because my mother always says, like you say, Mama, just start off, you know, a certain way. You begin to eat healthy, and then you get to the point where you're really, really eating like a lot of good foods, organic foods, or maybe just like food that's not so pesticidable or GMAs or whatever. You're going to make a lot less trips to the hospital, which in essence, you're going to save a lot more money.
And you know, I have an interview in my group of videos, the health alternative interviews that I offer. Stan Glazer, he has a market on Saturday. Oh, well, yes, the organic farm. But he makes that point very clear that you either pay now or pay later. And that, what you just said, going to the hospital. Hospitals are filled. I'm always saying this. Hospitals are filled with people who are digging their graves with their forks. So it behooves us to start trying to eat differently, to live differently. And there are ways. There are simple ways. I mentioned the sprouting. You can find ways to make it easier, to make it less expensive. Some things, of course, they're going to be expensive. But we can get around some of these things. So don't let that stop you. And don't let it deter you from being healthy, because we spend money on all kinds of things that are not good for us.
Car phones. You make sure you want to get that certain car phone. A new car phone comes out, that new car, certain things, certain dresses. You make sure you go get them. You make no excuses. You do whatever you got to do to get them. This is about your health.
Whatever. And so we can find ways to do it more inexpensively, but sometimes there are some things that are going to be expensive. I mean, I've heard people say this before, it's expensive to eat that way. But no, not totally.
Not cell phone, not car phones, but cell phones. Anyway, thanks a lot, Mom. And thanks a lot, Twin Kitten 1. Anyway, let's go to the next one, Mom. All right?
Okay.
Okay, and this one is from Ashley. Ashley, here's Ashley's question. Where can I buy a dehydrator? Or where can I buy that dehydrator?
Okay, that one, I guess she's talking about the one that she saw where we did the onion bread and or what else did we do? The tomato chips, I think. So Ashley is the name? Yeah. Ashley, all you have to do is go to AnnetteLarkins.com, and on my homepage you'll see a link. Says I think it says food dehydrators, right?
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. You just click on that. It'll take you right to where you need to go, and you'll have a choice of what you, which one you want to get. I mean, there are different ones that are cost effective or not, but you make the choice, whichever one you can afford.
Yeah, basically, go to the website. You'll find all kind of great stuff. Okay, stuff we talk about, you're going to find on the website. The books and the DVDs are timeless. Everybody should have a copy of all that stuff. I mean, literally, because the information that my mother is sharing is timeless. I mean, that's all I can say about that. And she also has another part of her question, Mom. Here's the other part of her question about your skin care regime. What is your skin care regime?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Ashley is her name, right? Ashley, you know, people want to know that all the time about the skincare regime. But, you know, I'm going to tell you this. The first thing that I believe that you have to do is come from the inside out. I believe that, you know, there are all kinds of potions and notions that people put on their skin and all that. I think that if you begin to eat well and keep your body well cleansed and well nourished, I think that's a starter right there. Now, understand, I'm a woman, so of course, I've been into creams and that kind of thing, but I make my own creams, and I do that with, I have these, the beeswax, and I have different oils like almond and grapeseed and hemp and all
kind of ingredients.
Yeah, and carrots, carrot oil, which is good for the skin, so that I will use that stuff. But I don't. It's not like when you talk about a regimen or a regime. It's not like I'm a slave to that. I don't just really make sure that I'm covered in oil like some people, whatever, all the time.
Okay, I don't want that vision in my head, Mom. You're my mom. I'm sorry.
But
please move on.
The thing is that it's not something that I'm doing that is just a constant skin care thing. I use that stuff, of course, but I pretty much make my own cream. So
okay, cool.
That's that.
And also Ashley, she also asked that we would please make more videos, which I'm hoping that we do. We plan on doing that.
Yes. It's Ashley? Ashley, we do. That's what we're doing right now. This is why I'm answering some of these questions now, because I can't answer them all through email and on Facebook or YouTube. So I'm answering these, and these are getting out if people want more videos. So we are obliging. Thank you very much.
And she's going to get, and we're going to get to more questions also. This is just the beginning. We're going to do more of these sessions.
We're doing various things to give you, hodgepodge or potpourri of different variety. Variety is
hodgepodge potpourri. I don't know what she just meant by that, but hey, I'm just an average guy. I'm sure most of you know better than I, but
at any rate,
sounds like some mustard to me. But
at any rate, variety, what they say is the spice of life. So
yes.
we want to offer variety. So yes, we'll have some questions and answers sessions. So this is one of them. This is the first among others that we'll be having.
Okay, so with that, we're going to end that question with the hodgepodge and the potpourris, and we're going to go on to Janina. I think that's right. Janina. Her name is Janina, which is a beautiful name. Janina, she asked, first of all, she says, "Hi, Mrs. Larkins," and she wants to know if you offer a retreat that teaches about raw living and growing your own foods.
I do not. There are people from all over. I've had people tell me from Europe, from all over the world, that they would come and visit if I were to offer one. That's something that I don't know that I'm ready for. I don't know that I'll ever be ready to do that. I share in the best way that I think is possible to share, and I don't know that I will ever do anything like that, but I'm happy that you're interested in knowing that. But I tell you what, I'm going to tell you something. If you get the DVD Annette's Raw Kitchen and get the booklets, that is such a start. You have your own personal classes by doing that.
Yep.
You have your own seminar, and you can stop and resume whenever you choose to. So this is why I offer that material, so that you have it's there for the taking. So you have me right there in the privacy of your own abode.
Can't get any better than that.
I just, that's my offering. That is my contribution. So I would say go with that as starters.
Absolutely, but I'm just curious to know if a lot of you would like to see her start a retreat of that sort or of some sort. Put a comment in the box and express your interest. Just curious, just out of curiosity. Not saying Mom would do it. We're just curious. Okay, here's the next question. Okay, her name will come up in the question. "Hi, Annette. I'm inspired by your beauty of life. My name is Rosalind. Could you please help? What is the best food for vitamin B12? Thank you for your help. If you have a book on health or recipes," that we've already answered both those questions, but could you elaborate on that more, Mom?
Yeah, we've already answered the question. What's her name?
Her name is Rosalind.
Rosalind. Yes, go to the website, AnnetteLarkins.com. There you have it. And we already talked about that. So, and one of the reasons we answer these questions like this, in this format, is because people repeat questions so much of the time. And this will save me from having to individualize it and get to some more that I need to get to. But as far as the B12 goes, again, it's like the protein situation. You know how much vitamin B12 we actually need? About that much. Can you see that little pinky there, my little finger? You don't need that much. The problem with the vitamin B12 is not that we don't get enough oftentimes, it's that it's not absorbed. Because we have it, our bodies are so cluttered with the wrong kinds of foods, junk food, excuse me, the meat, the mucus, our bodies are so cluttered with that until actually we cannot absorb what we get. We don't need that much. But that's something to really, listen, I'm not a physician, okay? I'm not a doctor. I want everybody to know that. I don't want to pass myself off as anything, but I've learned things over the years, okay? I've been in this position at least for 52 years, beginning back that time. Just want you to know that, again, like the protein, we don't need as much as people think. And that's the first thing that people think, excuse me, because what happens is that the B12, let me tell you this, there was a lady who had seen me in a health food store one day, and she was giving these screenings, these live blood cell screenings. And she ran up to me, oh, I'm such a fan of you, I'm such a fan of you. Please let me screen you. And of course, I wasn't really interested in doing it, but she said to me she would do it for nothing, so I mean, was I going to pass that up? Well, when she did my screening, she was just so, I mean, she was calling people, look at this, look at this, look at this. She said, and she put it on her website, that I had the best blood that she had ever seen. She wanted to do a raw foodist, that's what she wanted to do. And I remember, let me just take you back further, long ago, when I was a meat eater, when I ate all of the junk that I used to eat, the way so many people do, guess what? I was one time diagnosed with anemia. Now, did you hear what I said? It came from that, when I was eating meat, to years later, when I'm in a whole different realm, and I was told that I had the best blood that this technician had ever seen.
Wow.
That's going a long way.
That's fascinating.
And it wasn't the meat that did it. So that, just to let you know, in answer, I want to just throw that in to let you know that, like I said, you take a cow. Cow doesn't eat meat. And the B12 is fine if it's a healthy cow, if they're not feeding with all those injections. But to answer your question, to go back to your original question, you know, you can get it through green leafy vegetables. You can get it through dates, and even, let's see, what else has it? Leeks have vitamin 12, and all of these bananas. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what all of these foods. Basically, if you're eating a plant-based diet that is strong, that has, you know, what you need, the vitamins, minerals that you have, and you're not including all this junk food stuff, and your body will make it from probiotics, you know, the whole point is this: get your digestive system in order. Get your health in order. And you don't have to worry about those things. You really don't. You really do not have to worry about it.
Yeah, and that's the good thing and the most fascinating thing about it. In my opinion, in my experience, my brief experience, you don't need to have too much of anything. The most important thing is to be consistent with it, and your body, let your body do what it needs to do with it. God put all this good stuff on this earth for us to consume it so we can live a healthier life, stay out of the hospital as much as many people are. I mean, I saw a hospital the other day, it's full. Anyway, I love
Anywhere USA.
Anyway, I love my mother's way of life, And this is why I believe that everybody should have a copy of her books and her DVDs because they're timeless. Just her way of life alone is motivating and inspiring to me and to a lot of other people. And in the meantime, in between time, I want to ask you guys to please go check her out, Google her if you want to know more about her. If you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube, like this video, and comment, like, post, more comments. Thanks for your support. We love you guys. Give my mom a kiss. Till the next episode, peace.